Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, making my return back to Pillars of Eternity. This is episode 9. So this was one of those game sessions where I was just tying up some loose ends and stumbled upon a couple of side quests inside the town of Gilded Vale. And so once I switch the screen, you'll start to see that little wrap up session. So runs roughly 30 some odd minutes, and I'll come back on the back end and do the whole wrap up of it. So I hope you're enjoying these little Pillars of Eternity episodes. At some point, I'm going to stop doing or at least stop posting the full expanse of these because I want to finish up this game, and that way I can start doing Pillars of Eternity 2. And the reason why is that you can export your characters' memories from 1 to 2, and that will change the startup experience of Pillars of Eternity 2. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this next scene. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 9. Haven't decided a title yet. We'll see what happens here. So I've been just wrapping up a few things as far as inventory is concerned, and I want to see if there's any other loose ends in this town. So I'm going to take my party here and let me just
Hi.
do a real quick health check on everybody and make sure. We might need
I'm
some
here.
sleep.
Ready when you are.
Um,
Welcome.
let's see. We'll sleep a little bit. Laborers Rest Common Room. Lasts for 2 rests. Let's do this here. It seems that coin does not drop very often, but I wanted to check in here anyway. So I'm going to limit. Sorry about it. I'm going to limit the amount that I spend on rooms. Try to get the ones that give me the most bang for the buck. I know I had these 2 named individuals over here, and I haven't gone into what they're actually all about. Oh, as you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from its past seems to call to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack one item after the other, careful deliberation, undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can into the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bear house. Strengthening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen, anyone heading out on the high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of island, and tries not to jump. Okay. Alright, so I already did that, and let's see what this guy's story is. Strom Brightblade. Wow, that's very close to Stern Brightblade. A young, you see, you, as you near, let's try to read correctly, as you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Alright, we are going to reach out. You see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out to each part of his, as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. He carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he is doing as he does, and lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking towards the boys, talking about a proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. A noise comes from a tree line near their practice venue, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind them. He draws an arrow and lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Losing the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boys spin, watching the arrow fly into the forest, immediately lost among the trees. There is a sudden explosive movement in the undergrowth as a deer erupts from the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. They stop talking, seeing him hold the bow and leading the deer with a knocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he looses this last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind its shoulder, piercing heart and lungs and dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a second and then slowly turn to look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. Okay. So,
Yeah.
and let's see if there's anything. I recall I had popped in here a while ago and I didn't want to talk to anyone. I pick up another. Is there anyone in here? Huh. Okay.
Ready when you are. I'll have this open in no time. That'll do it.
A duelist's hat. Okay. Let's see. I will put that hat on. Light armor 4. Padded armor. Now that's lower than what he's wearing, I believe. Yeah, he's wearing scale mail. A duelist's hat. Okay, that looks cool. And he's carrying a saber. Oh, his saber is much better than this. Alright, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't say I stole it, so... Alright, so nothing else here. I'm surprised these guys down here didn't actually have a quest. Wow, that hat really stands out. No named persons, so... Let me go talk to the elder. Okay, do you know what
Careful,
a watcher
friend.
is?
Best not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense. The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Saints War, only one in my lifetime. Fellow decided he was a living incarnation of Athos. Overthrows Reticrest, marches on Drywood. So you give him Drywood hello. Alright, what's a
Blew him
Drywood
up.
hello? We blew him up. Alright. Athos is the god of rebirth and redemption, formally, anyhow. Maybe call him something different where you're from. Okay. I had other questions. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Radric sent down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority. Someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward. So Switchin, that's my headman, he stepped up and says, it's him. They took him at his word. Alright, I'll ask, what does your
Pick the
town
wrong
have
god.
against you?
That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Athos worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Athos. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Okay. Who is Kolsk? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking mostly. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Someplace called Caird Nua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help
I
me.
seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
Okay.
All right, then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Okay. I picked up another
Hey,
character I wasn't expecting. Very interesting. So let's see what he is. He's a fighter. And let's see how he is equipped. He has a saber. Saint's War armor. Okay. I'm still not finding that guy I spoke to inside the,
Yeah.
now let's get everybody. Let's look for him over here. Archer, sellsword, Arjet. Okay, let's see if this guy has anything to say.
I have received confirmation that Lord Radric's heir was not born well. My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of all Eothasians and whatever other undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands. It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old home. There will be no place for you here. You may stay at the inn until you can make the necessary arrangements, but I would not advise remaining long. I expect Lord Radric will be most thorough in his efforts to purify this place.
Let's report a murder. This is outrageous. I came a long way. Tell me about Lord Radric. I'd like to know more about Gilded Vale. Say about Lord Radric. He comes from a line of nobles who have defended these lands since dire times. Radric II was an early supporter of the Drywooden independence during the Revolution, and the current Lord's father perished in the Saints' Wars. Hullaborn began appearing in the Direwood shortly after the war's end. The Saints' War. Give me some details about the Saints' War 15 years ago. People decided that Waden, their living saint, was... Alright, we heard this story already. Defending fanatics. Yeah, the other guy told that story. I'd like to report a murder. Alright, let's go with that. The magistrate raises a brow. As is your duty, what was happened? Man called Nanton has killed a friend purely out of the wilds. Do you have any evidence? If find, I'll go find some. I'm not going to tell this guy that I had visions. Okay. Why is the population shrinking? Tell me about the ruins. Yeah, some of these things I've already done. So... Alright, we'll just say goodbye. And let's see. Okay, let's get everybody together. Let's see, what else haven't I looked at? I haven't gone to the windmill next, or yet. We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We won't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. Trumbull. A muffled shout emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards who comes through the door gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swainer. I put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads. We'll be back, Trumbull, and we will have a fair prices, or by the flame we will have a reckoning. Against the grain. Or maybe that'll be the title of this adventure. Let's see.
Yeah.
An elven man stands before you. His relatively stocky build, suggesting the life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Say, hold on, I'm not here to threaten you. Wait, I know you. You just came into the town, right? Don't tell me Swainer already got his claws into you. Gods, that's all I need. What's with the ruckus outside? My name is Bloodworth. I'm only here. I've just arrived. I thought you could use some help. These people out there seem pretty angry. I don't like being threatened. Who's Swainer? Let's do who's Swainer first. The dwarf, the one standing out there spreading lies amongst the villagers. Okay. What was all that ruckus? I just gained 102 experience. Where to begin? Swaimers whipped them up into a froth going on about grain stores. Claims I've hidden away. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in. I sell what comes out. I sell what goes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound and some west side of the town for ale. And Swaver and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look around the field and away into town. The crop's heightened, and most of the time it's getting from the farmers. It's gone off, rotted through. Maybe I ought to have a talk with Swearer. Seems like a pretty clean story for a messy situation. Let's see. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore. Okay. We'll be in your debt if you can convince him. Okay. So, against the grain. So advance the story against the grain. See if there's anything in here of interest. Get my tab key. Yes, there is. Oh, but that would be stealing, so I'm not going to do that. So let's take a look at the journal. And we're going to go to against the grain. So investigate the feud. He'll be at the inn. Okay, let's go back to the inn. There he is.
Huh?
Hail and well met.
Don't Don't know who you are and don't much care. Keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. He's a nice guy. Trumbull says you've been threatening his family. I saw you outside the mill. What was that about? Or I'll be leaving. No, let's see. Well, someone fancies themselves a meddler, hey? What's that about? It's about Trumbler, thinking he's king of the town on the account that he has the mill to his name. It's about him barely giving us anything for the wheat that we bring him, and then cutting our purses when we need to buy grain. It's all about farmers going hungry while some bastard gets rich off their crops. What are you doing here then? What if I buy you all around? We'll talk. Will you talk to me then? Or Trumpo says you're threatening his family. Maybe I could talk to him for you. All right, let's buy him around. Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats, and I might feel ready for trading wars. Okay.
Greetings.
All right, maybe I do have to actually buy a drink.
Hello.
Yep. Let's see. Let's test my resolve. You gain 3 beers added to your inventory. Okay.
Hail, traveler.
Okay. Alright, so look, there's no sense in threatening the miller. You have him up against the wall. Maybe you can ask some of the other villagers to help. Maybe you could tell me more about what's going on. Attack you, drunken menace, or goodbye. Let's see. Look, there's no sense in threatening. Gods, that's good. All right, then you've got my attention. What is it that you've got you worth a round of drinks? Maybe you could tell me a little bit more about what's going on. Okay. Like I said, the miller's charged, blah, 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 da, da, da. Look around. There's no sense in threatening. Maybe I can go talk to him. I already spoke to him. Let's do this. Gained 102. You're right. Things will go on like they are. We're just going to end up hanging from that tree out there. Tell Trumbo we'll leave him be. Okay. Against the grain.
Huh?
Alright, let's go back to the Miller house. Okay, I spoke to him. I convinced him to leave you and your family in peace. Party gained 648 experience points, a total quest of 852 experience points. Glad to help. Um, so what's he offer me? Some grain? Here, he pulls a coin purse from his, pushes it towards you. Today's earnings to show my appreciation, and you can be sure I'll let everyone know you've done for me. All right, glad to help. I could use some coin. 20 copper. And that task is completed. Okay. Wait a second here. I want to see, for some reason on my, I don't see if that guy went to make amends or where you check to see. Let's go back to the bell room. No. And I pretty much did everything out there. I guess not. He must not be here. Okay, we are going to... We went to the road south. They said that camp was southeast, or we have to go to the southeast. Maybe we have to go to the east. But I'm actually going to wrap this one up here since we did complete at least one adventure. So I am going to stop it here. Oh wait, let's... Okay, so there you have it. You have episode 9 coming to a close. That's I eventually entitled it "Against the Grain" because that was the primary adventure in it, and it was really nice to see that there was an adventure that could be wrapped up no violence, no combat at all, and just getting to a little bit of running back and forth, but still you're kind of getting a feeling for the place and seeing that it's like a living kind of world out there. So there, it's not just go out hack and slash, come back, get your reward, and such. That there's little side stories going on the place. So once again, I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments that you want to leave, please leave comments. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I will continue to bring out, more content, a varied, as you can see, a very varied, display of different types of RPGs that you could be playing, and that's what the channel is all about. The channel is about, introducing you to, my first experiences with a variety of role-playing games out there, and without a concern of particular types of genres or even the particular way that you access them. So computer games, tabletop. I do have a series of books that I'm going to be talking about that are solo play, just some old school RPG, but all of the adventures were solo adventures, so that's going to be an interesting thing. I can't wait to actually get the final book in the mail to actually do that. So you can look at that coming up probably early on this weekend. That first video of that. So once again, thanks for joining. I hope you you liked the video, and I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen sometime soon. You'll have a great afternoon.